Friday TGIF edition of the show, the eve of Alabama's first practice scrimmage of fall camp. Bryant-Denny Stadium, that taking place on tomorrow. You're rocking and rolling on the hottest show on the streets, bringing you your Bama football coverage. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Proud to have all of you checking us out here on today, getting that weekend started off for you correctly. We're bringing you the show from the magic city of Birmingham. We stream this to you on YouTube. And speaking of the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button right now. Smash subscribe. Do it right now. Get all of your friends to subscribe, family members, diehard Bama fans, casual Bama fans, because if you love the information, you love the alerts, you love the conversation and the entertainment, everybody else will value that as well. So hit subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a like. Give us that thumbs up. Run those likes up there. Make this your show, your network platform channel and space to talk Crimson Tide. Turn all of those notifications on. Hit that little bell so you miss absolutely nothing alerting you on your favorite program, that being the Crimson and White, that being that big bad Bama coming up and down the field. We also got you covered here on Facebook and Twitter as well, streaming to you this show. We got a good one. A little bit later on, we got the man Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA, coming on as Eric Wolford doing it again on the recruiting trail. Bama picking up a massive commitment from four-star offensive lineman Miles McVay. So on the offensive line, Bama's got McVay, Wilkin Formby, Olas Anganin, and Ryquest McElderry. So Eric Wolford doing his thing in terms of the recruiting front, and we'll get Justin's thoughts on who's next on the pipeline to commit here this month. But we want to hear from you tonight. Passionate fans of Alabama football, do not let tonight in without getting your point across. Letting your voice be heard, your ideas be made known. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358. Number to call in. Let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. One more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. The daily Super Chat goes $75. Daily Super Chat go. Appreciate the love from you guys. And it looks like we got my man Bill, Big Bill from New York with that $5 donation. The pot starting us off correctly right there in the Super Chats. Dancing Steven doing his thing already on a Friday. But we get this thing popping here with the first topic of conversation, this being first scrimmage tomorrow. First game-like practice tomorrow, Bryant-Denny. No, the media not allowed to be there, but there are still positional groups. There are still different things that we need to take notice of. There are still different things that when Coach Saban and the team finishes the scrimmage and Saban is able to speak with the media, there are things that you as fans, you want Saban to address. You want to see, has this position gotten better? Has that position improved? Which spots are the lead spots? You know, should we have the confidence in the offensive and defensive coordinator that Alabama has on the coaching staff? There are many things in the first scrimmage that you as a fan, you as a consumer of Alabama football want to know, want to have answered, want to be sort of in the loop on. And on tomorrow, first game like practice, you're playing fast, you're playing hard, you're playing physical. Coach Saban trying to see, you know, who can be the guys that can play winning football? Who can be the guys that we give the play out to? They go out there, they execute it. You don't have to tell them too much. They run the offense, they run the defense, they do their job. And when the lights are on, who's ready to ball when the lights are on? So first scrimmage at fall camp on tomorrow. But getting into now, the 5 things that I feel like we should all take note of, the 5 positions, the 5 aspects that need to be ready to shine here in this first scrimmage. Number 1, you got to look at the offensive line, primarily the offensive tackle position. Just a season ago, The offensive line gave up 39 sacks of Bryce Young. That's got to improve. That's got to be better. You replace Doug Marrone with Eric Wolford. Wolford, great on the recruiting trail. Wolford, better fit in terms of a coach on the offensive line. And so many players have talked about Wolford has been a positive change. It's been a positive difference to this team, to this unit. So offensive line, primarily offensive tackle. Number 2, look at the wide receiver room. Who's going to step up? Who's going to take this moment and make it theirs? Crimson Tide, no more Jamison Williams, no more John Mechie, no more Slade Bolden. You've got Jermaine Burton, you've got Tyler Harrell, you've got Christian Leary, you've got Ja'Cory Brooks, you've got Trayshawn Holden, and then you got 3 really talented freshmen in Isaiah Bond, Shaz Preston, and Kobe Prentice. 4, Kendrick Law, he's in there also. 5th would be Aaron Anderson. He's dealing with a bit of a knee issue, as Coach Saban mentioned. But you got 4 freshmen in here as well. Who want it? Who want it? Who's ready to build that connection, build that chemistry, build that trust there with Bryce Young as the starting quarterback? Receivers, number 2. Number 3, who's going to have the upper hand in this first scrimmage? Coach Saban always talks about, the offense has the upper hand or the defense has the upper hand. Which positional group is going to have that upper hand there when you look at that? So that's number 3. Number 4, quarterback Jalen Milroe. His time as the backup. We know what Bryce Young can do. Milroe has been an impressive athlete. He's had a really good fall camp, had a really good summer workout. What can he do in this first scrimmage from a passing, distributing the ball perspective that will have us go, oh, wow. Got to see him on the field in the upcoming season. And more than just, mop-up duty. Got to see what he brings here to this offense and have him run this offense. And then last but not least, the running backs behind Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs has been getting all of the attention since he got in here. But the guys behind him, Jace McClellan, Roydell Williams, Trey Sanders, Emmanuel Henderson, and Jamarion Miller. What can they bring? How will they perform in this first scrimmage? So starting this thing off with your offensive tackles here, J.C. Latham, Tyler Steen, not only can they hold their own, can they play winning football on the outside? That's the big question. I know we look at the interior of the offensive line, the guards and the center, with McLaughlin and Dalcourt battling for that center spot. You got your 2 guards in Javion Cohen and Emil Ekiyor, and you don't want pressure from the A and B gaps getting to Bryce Young. But your offensive tackles outside, can J.C. Latham and Tyler Steen deliver you that winning football? Nick Saban talked about J.C. Latham. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's grown, understands what he's supposed to do up front. Tyler Steen picked up the offense quickly. Saban likes both tackles. But are these 2 set to play winning football, neutralizing pass rushers, keeping outside linebackers and defensive ends away from Bryce Young? We're going to see this first scrimmage of fall camp on tomorrow. Moving on down to number 2 here, you look at these wide receivers. You got Tyler Harrell in here. You got Jermaine Burton, Trayshawn Holden, Ja'Cory Brooks. You got Christian Leary. Got a lot of big play receivers out here. A ton of freshmen out here. Who's ready to jump in this fire and show Bryce Young, hey, you can trust me. You throw me the ball, I'm going to catch it. I'm going to make plays. Saban mentioned there's a lot of competition in this wide receiver room. Ja'Cory Brooks talked about it. A lot of competition in this wide receiver room. You got 2 transfers pushing. You got veteran guys pushing. You got freshmen pushing. But who want it, right? Who want it? Who want to be out there when those lights are bright, when the stage is at its biggest? Who wants the ball in their hands in that moment that can make those types of big-time plays when you need them from a wide receiver? It's going to be a very interesting first scrimmage for that group. Who's ready to step up and ball out? That's number 2. Number 3, we mentioned here between Pete Golding, Bill O'Brien, the offense and the defense, who's going to have the upper hand? Normally in fall camp, after the first scrimmage of fall camp, Coach Saban will come to the reporters. Well, guys, the offense, they've got more experience. They've got more veteran guys. We got more explosive playmakers on that side of the ball, so the offense has the upper hand. Or he'll go, man, the defense killed us today. The defense, they've got more leaders. They got more impact players. They got more veterans. The defense, way far ahead of the offense. First scrimmage between Pete Golding and this defense, Bill O'Brien and this offense. Who is going to have the upper hand? Who's going to walk out of Bryant-Denny Stadium and have Coach Saban go, this side right here has got the upper hand. This side right here is ahead of the other side. So this is a big day between Pete Golding and Bill O'Brien. Offense, defense. Who's got the upper hand here in this first scrimmage? That's number 3. Number 4, Jalen Milroe. Big opportunity for him. Big to show the coaching staff, the teammates around him, and the fans upon the end of the scrimmage, and Saban talking about it, his passing mechanics, his passing prowess, his accuracy, his timing, his arm strength, his delivery, fitting the ball in tight windows, putting the ball right there where it's got to be at, leading receivers with big plays, leading receivers with accurate throws. He goes out there and has a scrimmage where he throws 3 or 4 touchdown passes, 4 or 5 touchdown passes. And you got fans going, oh, mama, wow. Look at Milroe out there. We know what Bryce Young can do, but wow, look at Jalen Milroe out there putting it in. Look at Milroe out there putting in business. Look at Milroe out there frying the bacon. We got to get him out there on the field. He goes out there and has a really strong showing in the first scrimmage. That's what fans want to see him do, coming behind Bryce Young. And then last but not least, the running backs behind Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs has gotten a lot of conversation since he's gotten to Alabama, and rightfully so. We see the speed, the burst, the explosiveness, the playmaking abilities from all aspects. He makes the defense better. Henry To'o said, I've never guarded a back like him. Will Anderson said he kind of plays like a wide receiver. It's hard to run with him. We've seen the conversation on Gibbs, but behind him, want to see what Chase McClellan does post-injury. How does he look being back out there? Want to see what Roydell Williams does post-injury. How does he look being out there? Want to see how Trey Sanders performs in the first scrimmage. How many carries does he get? The freshmen, Emmanuel Henderson and Jamarion Miller, how do they look? Miller looked good in the A-Day game. He looked good in the spring. But how do those 2 freshmen look? How does the running back room as a whole look? That's what I'm going to be focused on here in the first scrimmage, and hearing from Coach Saban, the offensive tackles, the wide receivers, who's ready to hop in this fire and ball right now, who's got the upper hand, offense or defense. Big game between Pete Golding and Bill O'Brien. Jalen Milroe, it's his time from a passing perspective at quarterback. And then the guys behind Jahmyr Gibbs. How does the whole running back room stack up here? But we take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial, because when we return, we sit down with the living legend Justin Smith to talk 4-star offensive lineman Miles McVay, his commitment to the Crimson Tide, and who could be next to make their commitment. We get with Justin right after this.
You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Get your 4-finger bling necklace today by visiting weownthefourthquarter.com. Throw them foes up.
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, folks, we're back into the action here from the break. Hottest show on the streets covering your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to be joining you guys, and happy for you guys to be joining us on a Friday, getting that weekend started off for you correctly. But right now, we go to the In My Own Words hotline where we do pick up the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine, our own Justin Smith. So, Justin, when you look at Miles McVay, the latest guy to give his commitment to the Crimson Tide offensive lineman, 4-star, just watching the film, what just jumps out to you? What grabs your attention immediately when you watch McVay work, when you watch him play, when you watch his skill set? Like, what just immediately grabs your attention when you pop on the tape and you look at this massive young man do work on the offensive line?
I think the biggest thing is his size. 6'7", could be 6'6", when he gets his measurements verified at Alabama, but still has great length, 345 pounds. So he's a wide body offensive lineman. So the thing that I see that first pops out when you watch his first couple of plays of his huddle film is his ability to make himself wide, which makes it very hard for those edge rushers and defensive ends to get around him, which is something coincidentally that a lot of guys, when I saw McVay in action at the Under Armour Future 50 event, a lot of those defensive linemen who were in attendance, they were just talking about how hard it was to get around him because he was so wide, because you have to do certain things in your pass rush to get around a guy who's that wide. So those guys who are some of the top edge rushers in the 2023 recruiting class at that particular event was just talking about how it was difficult to get around him because of his size. But with those long arms, he often initiates contact that is big for an offensive lineman. I really like his ability to pull block as well, blocks really well in space when he gets to the second level. So there's a lot to like from a potential standpoint when you take a look at my.
So, Justin, as we flip this now to, McVay and Eric Wolford, I mean, Coach Wolf does it again on the recruiting trail. I mean, we knew when Coach Saban made the hire of Wolford of how respected he was in the SEC as a coach and as a recruiter. But Coach Wolf, you look at Raquez McElderry, committed to Alabama. You look at Olas Enganine, committed to Alabama. Miles McVay, committed to Alabama. Wilkin Formby, committed. Like, just how impressive is this to you that whoever Wolford wants, he can get on this recruiting trail with the way that he builds relationships, with the way that he talks to these young men, with the way that he's able to vibe and sell the program and sell how great you're going to be at the program? Just how impressed are you by him being able to kind of cherry pick and get whoever he wants in terms of offensive linemen on this recruiting circuit?
Yeah, he's definitely had a lot of success with continuing to recruit some guys who the Crimson Tide have really liked in his 2023 recruiting class in terms of offensive linemen. He's definitely landed more guys than he has missed when you take a look at his 2023 recruiting efforts. But it all goes back to, like you said, he can sell the program well, connects with these guys, because a lot of them say, like a lot of them say, he's going to be the guy who they spend the most time around with him being their position coach. But also a lot of these guys are confident in his teaching style. They believe that he can teach them certain things and help them get to the next level in terms of being developed. So that is one of the reasons why most guys say they come to the University of Alabama, is because they want to be developed. And in terms of the offensive linemen with the Crimson Tide, having Eric Wolford as their offensive line coach, those guys believe that Wolford will help develop them to be the best offensive lineman that they can be.
just checking out the show here on a Friday, we got the man Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA, helping us out here talking 2023 signing class. Miles McVay, 4-star offensive lineman, the latest commitment. So, Justin, we're in the month of August here, in the middle part of the month now. Who is next in this pipeline with a commitment date set? I know James Smith is still out there. His teammate last name Russo is still out there. A lot of other names still left to be determined. But who are some guys that have got their commitment dates locked in for the month of August? Who are some guys now that we have to keep our eyes on in terms of giving out their verbal commitments?
You definitely have to keep your eyes on Makari Vickers. He's a guy who Alabama has continued to recruit to announce his commitment in a couple of weeks, around August 26th. He's going to announce his decision. So we'll see what happens with this decision, looking like it's going to come down to an Oklahoma-Alabama recruiting battle, with the Sooners having some momentum heading into his decision. Alabama hosted them for an official visit in June, of course, so we'll see how that plays out. We also are taking a look at Raymond Paluto in terms of two big commitment announcement this weekend. You have Raymond Paluto out of California, a 4-star offensive lineman who the Crimson Tide are in really, really great position with after hosting him for camp in June. Got him back on campus in July for a couple of days for an unofficial visit. Him and his dad are really high on the Tide, their family in general. And I got an opportunity to talk with Paluto before he visited Alabama in July. He said he had one of the better relationships with Alabama's coaching staff. Also brought up Coach Wolford, who we talked about earlier, so we definitely have our eyes on Paluto. Also, Kelby Collins, 4-star defensive end out of Gardendale High School in Gardendale, Alabama, set to announce his commitment on Saturday. Like I've said consistently when I talk about his recruitment as of late, continues to look like that Florida-Alabama recruiting battle. The Gators have definitely have some momentum heading into his decision. They have recruited him really well, and hosted him for an official visit in June, got back on campus for an unofficial visit in July, so he's showing a lot of interest in that program, seems to be confident in what they can do. So we'll see how his decision plays out as well. He's one of those guys similar to Peter Woods. Their recruitment, if he does not pick Alabama, it's definitely not going to be over. I'm pretty sure Alabama's going to try their best to get him on campus, continue to try to recruit him. And Woods moving to put a flip in. Both guys grew up Alabama fans, so they're definitely going to try to use that to their advantage if they did miss out on Collins this weekend. The Gators will most likely be his choice if he was to not commit to Alabama, in my opinion, at this particular point in time. Georgia looks as if they're still making a push. No matter which school he commits to, I'm pretty sure Georgia's going to continue to recruit him as well. They have been involved in this recruitment for a very, very long time. So we'll see what happens with Collins on Saturday. Also, Jordan Renaud, in terms of a guy who has a commitment date set, 4-star defensive lineman out of Texas. Another Alabama-Oklahoma recruiting battle officially released. That top two is really high on the Tide after officially taking an official visit in June. I feel the Tide are in a really good position with Renaud as well, so we're going to keep our eyes out on that one. Also keeping our eyes on Edric Hill, a 2023 4-star defensive lineman out of Missouri, who recently released a top 6. Taking an official visit to Alabama in June.
He's Justin Smith, folks, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama Magazine, coming on here to give the lowdown on this recruiting front for the 2023 class. Miles McVay, 4-star offensive lineman, the latest to give his verbal commitment. Folks, if you're not following our own Justin Smith, you need to. I mean, the guy is doing his thing there on the recruiting trail. But we're actually going to go to a break here, folks, on Touch That Down, because upon our return, we go to the phone lines to grab your calls, your thoughts, your tweets, well, not your tweets, but your chats and your conversations. We get to you guys right after this.
Don't touch that dial. Call in right now as we're taking your calls up next on In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith. Brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Visit weownthefourthquarter.com now to get your 4-finger bling necklace. You know what we do at the start of the fourth quarter. We throw them foes up. But now you don't have to wait until the fourth quarter. Get your 4-finger bling necklace at weownthefourthquarter.com. It's the first and only logo that captures the essence of all Crimson Tide players and fans as we represent the legendary Alabama football fourth quarter dominance. Get your 4-finger bling necklace right now at weownthefourthquarter.com. Get yours today and stun on them haters. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, baby, we're back in here to the action from the break on a Friday. TGIF edition of the show, hottest show on the streets here, covering your Crimson Tide football news in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Tomorrow, your Crimson Tide first scrimmage of fall camp. First game-like practice of fall camp. We'll see what happens there. We got some super chats to get to. The man, William Bryan from Iowa, with that 50-piece, that $50 donation. The super chats, appreciate the love from my man, William. Dancing Steven, doing his thing there. And then what about Keith Jones? Keith Jones with that $10 donation coming up in here, helping us out there on the show. Appreciate William Bryan and Keith Jones for the love, for the support. But we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358, 205-448-1358. Number to call in. We grab this call, hear you live on the show. What's going on? How are you feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Well, Stephen, I just thought I'd call in here and give you a little shout out here on Friday. It's the weekend. It's time for everybody to relax, have a good time. First, we're going to have our first practice there tomorrow, and let's hope nobody else gets hurt. Somebody else gets hurt, I'm going to have to pull my hair out. I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, what has happened to JoJo Earl? Can you give me the download? Is his foot broke? Did he get a scrape? What's wrong, Stephen? What happened?
What happened there, Wang, was a foot fracture in practice. Now, Coach Saban didn't mention how the foot fracture happened. It could have been contact. It could have been non-contact, but he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. Saban did mention opportunity for JoJo Earl to be back first week of October, so we will see how he attacks the rehab. Injuries are no fun no matter what position that they're in, but if there was a spot where Alabama could afford it one, it would have been at wide receiver just due to the depth at that position. I know Earl had made tremendous improvement throughout spring, summer, and fall camp, so hopefully, prayerfully he can work his way back. But he did fracture his foot. In terms of how it happened, I'm not sure, but his timetable to be back, Coach Saban said it could be first week of October.
Well, we need JoJo back. We wish him the best. Hope he gets better, and we hope we don't have any injuries and any more injuries this before first ball game here in this fall camp. Everybody stays healthy. But, hey, yes, Friday, got to have a little fun. We had an Auburn fan, Alabama fan, a Georgia fan. He was climbing the mountain. He was arguing about who loves their team the most. The Georgia fan just didn't see us that, he's the most loyal. He just hollers out, "This is for the dogs." And he yells, and he just jumps off the mountain. He's gone. Wait a minute. Not to be outdone, the Alabama fan said, "I'm next. To profess the love for my team," he yells, "This is for Alabama." And he pushes Auburn fan off the mountain and hollers, "Roll Tide. I love all y'all. Y'all looking good. Blue Ridge Gang, y'all be safe. Have a good weekend. Y'all make this the hottest show on YouTube, hottest show on the streets." Better watch that Alabama fan. He push you off the mountain. I'm out of here, Stephen.
Appreciate Waylon calling in here, the president on a Friday. We take this call here. You're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hello, Stephen. Bill from New York, man. How
Great,
you doing?
Bill. It's the weekend, first scrimmage of fall camp tomorrow, so we get a chance to kind of see, okay, what do we really have here?
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched, too. First, I want to talk about McVay. I watched what I could on him, and he looks to me like a guard or a right tackle. And I got to tell you how good that is, because I really think Coach Saban deep down loves to run the football. And I remember Deontay Brown. He didn't have the quickest start in Alabama, in my opinion. But if you watched him at the end, man, he was pushing Najee, and he was pushing them to a first down. Guards make a big difference in Saban football, even though it is a passing game right now, and I get that. Also, I just want to say, I just keep thinking that Ty Simpson is going to be a part of this team. I love the fact that he came early and he really wants to be in Tuscaloosa, and I give him all the credit in the world for that. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is you personally in this page. I got to tell you, the page is already great. It's nationwide, and I think it has the potential to be even bigger because it's just that good. You know, I'm proud to be a part of it. We got these callers, and I don't know as much as these guys: Justin Smith, Justin Riley, Tobias, Coach Smoot, Tideman, William Bryant, Wayland. I could keep on going. I'm sorry to who I left out, but these guys are great, and I'm honored to be a part of this thing. You know, and listen, man. I'm sorry to ramble, but it's 22 days, Stephen. It's 22 days, and I'm ready. You know what I mean? I'm ready to we're going to step on people like Jack the Giant Killer and things. You know what I mean? We're going to just crush these fools. And thanks again, man. Thanks for letting me be.
Absolutely. Gotta love Bill from New York calling. Love Bill. I mean, we are 22 days. He's right. We are Mark Ingram and Najee Harris. Mark Ingram and Najee Harris days away from Alabama football. And if you want to have a throwback in there, we are DJ Hall and Tony Nathan days away from Alabama football. 22 days from seeing the Crimson Tide. I think Major Ogilvy wore number 22 also, so we're Major Ogilvy away too. But we take this call here. You're live on the show. State your name. Where you calling from?
What's going on, Steve? This is Elijah from Jersey.
What's happening,
going on,
brother?
man? Oh, I'm good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Tomorrow is Saturday, so, Coach Saban will come after the scrimmage and tell us, what's really going on, what's really happening. It's the first scrimmage. We all want to know who's doing what. And after the first scrimmage, Coach Saban will come and tell us who's doing what.
Yeah. Now, I know the reason for these scrimmages, and it's to get guys ready, get guys prepared, see who knows what, test guys' will a little bit. But these scrimmages always make me nervous because one thing I always got an ear for is who got injured. Because these guys are going full contact. It's very close to the season starting. And, we don't want none of these crazy injuries. And it always makes me feel nervous about these scrimmages, Steve, because we all know how easy it is to break a foot. We seen JoJo Earl do it. We seen Trey Sanders do it his freshman year. And it's a non-contact injury. It's something very a slip this way, or the wrong tweak this way, wrong tweak that way, and you're talking about a guy out 6 to 8 weeks, or you're talking about an ACL tear guy out for a whole year. I would like to see these guys, if they're going to scrimmage, man, just do thud it up. Helmets, shoulder pads, just go to the whistle. No hitting below the legs, because it's like, great. If we was going to do this scrimmage, it's okay to do it in the spring. But right now, Steve, and I understand, yes, injuries are a part of football, but man, get injured in the game. Don't do your best to protect these guys in the off season, especially close to the season now. Injuries are a part of football. I played. I suffered torn meniscus. That happens, but it wasn't in practice. It wasn't in a practice scrimmage against my own team. It was in a game. I understand, John Mechie last year going out. He went out in the game. It happens. But when you turn around, and I just feel like these scrimmages, they don't have to be full on contact. It could be more of a thud. You could get a good read of who knows what without bringing people to the ground, you know what I mean? And I understand you want to get these guys battle ready because the season is coming up. But man, it makes me it makes me a little nervous, Steve, when you talk. All it takes is for somebody to go low and hit just say Jahmyr Gibbs in the knee, and now he's out 4 to 6, 6 to 8 weeks with a meniscus tear or something like that. It just puts me on edge, Steve. Like, man, maybe we could thud it up. Just helmets and shoulder pads. Go to the whistle, like you see the pros doing. Don't take nobody to the ground because we're so close to the season, and we want to go into the season full of strength. We don't want to go in there. Oh, this person got banged up in the first scrimmage. These two offensive linemen got banged up in the second scrimmage without giving ourselves a fair chance, man. You know, I just called the vent on that, man, because these scrimmages make me nervous about, you know, people getting injured. And I'm not going to say it's pointless, but I think we could go about it in a different way than this full contact, you know, scrimmage so close to the season. And plus, I believe people prove themselves in the spring. Like, not prove themselves, but, you know, we did the full scrimmage in the spring. So that's just my opinion, Steve, man. Let me know how you feel.
Appreciate
about
Elijah calling in. And folks, if you share in Elijah's sentiment there, 205-448-1358. I want to hear from you on that. 205-448-1358. Do you feel on edge when you look at Alabama going full contact, thudding it up there in fall camp? We take this call here. You're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
What's up, Steve? It's Coach Smoot, man.
What's going on,
bro?
What's going on, my man? What's happening?
Man, not much, man. Just catching up with you guys, man, and tuning into the show. Man, watching all the releases all week, man. And, boy, you talking about a big week, a big month, past 30 days for a program. And Alabama, if they handed out national championships for that, we probably get one in that, too. Like, you can't ask for better graces. And, I mean, even the satisfaction of seeing that the process at Alabama is legit, you know. A lot of people gave Alabama a lot of the backlash talking about what we were losing Ajayi Hall. And you all close to the program, all of us close to the program and that paid attention, you know, that's been paying attention to how Saban runs his program and how different attitudes and different personalities you don't fit or mesh well or they struggle at Alabama. Hall showed those signs early on, and Billingsley too. The moment he got corrected, you saw the lack of integrity or the lack of resilience to show up and just do your job and be a football player and compete. And to see Ajayi Hall suspended indefinitely from Texas is saddening. Too much talent, you know, basically for a short time period, however long the time period is, gone to waste. And people fail to realize, you know, a lot of times people are like, yeah, he'll bounce back. These college athletes nowadays, they're so consumed by society and social media that when they do great publicly, it's great for them. But when they slip up publicly, it hurts them badly, you know, or when they don't rise to expectations. You look at guys like Malik Henry, you know, the number one quarterback that got that signed with Florida State some years ago. You remember we had Blake Barnett. I mean, guys just they let the hype get past. They think they're larger than the game, and it always catches up to them, especially when you're in a program who has coaches and leaders like Coach Saban, you know, or Kirby Smart, or I know people not going to agree with me, but even Jimbo Fisher, you know, he ran a tight ship at Florida State till he started, you know, mixing up the money before NIL got. But we ain't gonna talk about that, you know. But anyway. But yeah, man, and then just seeing Ajayi Hall going and Jaleel going and looking at what we got to replace them through the transfer portal, through the recruiting class, all the young talent, it's just an amazing thing to see. And then, you know me, Steven, I'm a wide receiver guy, I'm an offensive minded guy. I would love to see someone like Christian Leary, Trayshawn Holden, or even what's my guy, Thaddeus Jones-Bell. I would love to see one of those guys get a serious opportunity to step up as the next man up in that receiver room. As excited as I am about seeing Isaiah Bonds get on the field. I think you make him earn it on special teams like you used to do, Saban. I think you make him earn it on the special team side. If he has to get back there and do kick return, get out there and do kick return. Just buy in, and even with the leadership on the team saying, guys are buying in. That's what's different from this year and last year. Guys are really bought into the process. Coach Saban's speech yesterday, buying into the process with Larry Fitzgerald, coinciding and repeating those same words. It just goes to show you what we are about to witness in 2022-2023 season. And Steven, I think this probably we had a good offense last year, but I think this year it's going to be a even better offense because we're going to see so many people used in the offense that the ability to make us one-dimensional is going to be, zero. I don't see many defenses that can match up across our top 5 receivers. When you just talk about speed, I don't see people having 4 or 5 DBs that can match up with our top 4 or 5 receivers that as far as speed, Steven. So just imagine the pressure is going to be put on them with, Latu coming back at tight end. You got the Amari Knee-Black. That boy, he's going to play, Steven. I don't know why we tricking ourselves and trying to act like Saban is not going to play that boy. This is that Steve. That boy, that Knee-Black at tight end, that boy's going to play. But I'm just excited, Steven. I don't want to hold the phone line up, man. I miss you guys. I've been catching the shows late, but I'm glad to be back. Blue Rinse Gang, shout out, love you guys. But y'all be on the lookout for Christian Leary. And last thing, Steven, Isaiah Bonds, a lot of rumbling with his name. Seen him getting first team snaps today too. So I don't know what that was, Steven, but Tyler Harrell's just coming back from whatever Saban was, trying to cover up. But if Isaiah Bonds goes out there for first team first week, I know something, Steven. I know something. Roll Tide.
Appreciate Coach Smoke, Senator Hines calling in. Coach Saban mentioning a lot of competition in that wide receiver room. You got transfers pushing. You've got guys already in the system pushing. You got freshmen pushing. So we will see tomorrow, Bryant Denny, when Coach Saban takes the podium after a 2+ hour scrimmage, and he walks in there dripping sweat. Saban will tell us who performed, who balled, what took place. 205-448-1358, number to call in to let your voice be made known on a Friday. In my own words, 205-448-1358. I'm going to get to both of our topics here. First and foremost, Coach Saban continuing his list of tremendous guest speakers to come and share wisdom with the team in fall camp. We've heard from Michael Phelps. We've heard from Larry Fitzgerald. Now we got a chance to hear from Maria Taylor, formerly of ESPN, now with NBC Sports. She came in and shared her story with the guys, with the football program, and very awesome. Very awesome. I mean, Taylor, who's a Georgia alum, she got a framed jersey from Alabama football. She got a chance to be reunited with another Georgia alum, that being Joe Cox, who is the tight ends coach for the Crimson Tide. So it was awesome seeing Maria Taylor in there with Coach Saban, sharing her story to the players here for the Crimson Tide. And also, speaking of Tyler Harrell, we have finally video of Tyler Harrell in Alabama practice. Y'all been wanting this. Y'all been waiting for this. So many people have been asking, where's Tyler Harrell? Is he out there? Heard so much about him. Heard he's so good. He's so fast. He's so explosive. Is he out there in practice? Here it is, folks. The people of the University of Alabama finally captured number 8, Tyler Harrell, in practice. And hopefully on Saturday, he'll be out there able to step up and do his thing. But we grab a call here. You're live on the show. What's going on? How are you feeling? State your name and where you calling from. Well, we lost that call there, unfortunately. 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. But Tyler Harrell, people have been wanting to know, where is he? We've been hearing a lot of stuff about him. Came in from Louisville, averaged 29.1 yards per catch a season ago, 6 touchdown receptions. Where is that guy? Well, UA has finally provided footage of that guy, the guy you wanted to see, and hopefully we see some big things here from Harrell in this first scrimmage. But we take our final break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial, because upon our return, we tidy up loose ends by discussing, Coach Saban. He's laughing more. He's being more interactive with the players. He's being more loose. He's being more engaging. He's showing a fun side. We'll talk about Coach Saban doing all of these things and how this does not mean good for college football right after this.
If you're an avid Alabama Crimson Tide fan and you love to flaunt it, then show your Alabama Crimson Tide support by grabbing the All-Bama sneakers. They feature bold Crimson Tide graphics, so no one will be able to question where your allegiance lies. When you add these sweet sneakers to your Alabama Crimson Tide collection, go to STSfootwear.com and use the code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. That's code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. Go to STSfootwear.com and get your All-Bama sneakers today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, what's poppin'? It's Friday, TGIF edition of the show. Hottest show on the streets, covering your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, on the eve of the Crimson Tide's first scrimmage of fall camp, taking place on tomorrow, Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Before we get into final topic of conversation, got to remind you of TDAwear.com. That's TDAwear.com. So for all of your swagger, soul, strip, fashion, clothing, cultural needs here, check us out, TDAwear.com. We got you covered. Get yourself set up right now as we're in fall camp with your gear. Or if you want to wait till Saturday, September 3rd, when Alabama opens the season at Bryant-Denny against Utah State, that's cool also. But TDAwear.com. That's TDAwear.com. Link in the description. Make us your place to do all of your shopping, supporting your Crimson Tide, and continue to support Coach Saban, the University of Alabama, the student athletes, and us here at TDA. But we're looking now, Coach Saban. Coach Saban is in his 16th season. It's hard to believe that. He's in his 16th year at Alabama. His 16th year running fall camp, and a different Nick Saban is running fall camp right now. Much different Nick Saban going about these fall camp practices. And, Coach Saban had a conversation today with Dan Patrick on the Dan Patrick Show, and the word retirement was brought up to Nick Saban again, and he's like, I don't think about that. I'm not trying to retire. Like, why do people keep bringing this up? Why do other coaches think I'm going to retire? Why do they tell recruits I'm going to retire? I love the game. I love what I do. I love the players. I love the intensity. I love the practice. I love the process. I love the competition. I love the grind. Why do people feel like I'm about to retire? Retirement thing came up again on the Dan Patrick Show. But, for 15 seasons at Alabama prior to this one, what do the outsiders say? Well, there's an old statement, before I even get to that, there's an old statement that goes, if I can't hear you, And if I don't see you, then you're irrelevant. If I don't hear you, and if I can't see you, then you are irrelevant. But for the first 15 years at Alabama, Coach Saban, what has been the conversation of the outsiders? Saban's a tightly wound control freak. He doesn't know how to have fun. He doesn't like to have fun. He doesn't relate to the players. He doesn't vibe on their level. He doesn't like the type of music that they listen to. He's just old school. He doesn't get today's athlete. He doesn't get the young people. It's been a conversation in the last 15 years with Coach Saban. And yet all he's done with the young people that he has recruited, signed, been a part of their lives as a father figure, he has taken them, won national championships with them, and has made the competition harder on every other coach. He has taken these guys and has returned them to their families as young men, being able to fend for themselves, provide for their families, future wives and children. He's taken these guys and has put them in the NFL draft, making them first-round draft picks and multimillionaires. I mean, Saban has done a lot here, with these guys. The outside noise, he's no fun. He's a control freak. All he cares about is winning. He don't care about the men. He don't even know the music they listen to. He don't vibe with them guys. He doesn't specialize in 18 to 22-year-olds. He doesn't specialize in the teenage life. He doesn't know about today's athlete. He doesn't know. He doesn't gel with it. And yet, in that conversation, we're seeing Coach Saban win national championships. In that conversation, we're seeing Saban win SEC titles. In that conversation, we're seeing Saban get any recruit that he feels like he wants to get. In that conversation, we're seeing Saban just do his thing. Be Coach Saban. Now, in year 16, running fall camp, Jordan Battle, a senior safety from South Florida, spoke to reporters today. Jordan Battle says Coach Saban is laughing. Coach Saban is smiling in meetings. He's laughing in meetings. We bring guys in to speak to us, fall camp guest speakers. He's laughing. He's engaging. He's interacting with players. This is pleasant. I like his energy right now. This is coming from Jordan Battle, one of the players, one of the seniors, one of the guys on the leadership council. Saban's laughing. He's interacting. He's engaging. He's having fun. But we were told Saban doesn't have fun. Control freak. Saban doesn't have fun. He just loves winning. Saban doesn't have fun. Saban doesn't interact and engage. But yet, here's Jordan Battle. He's interacting. He's engaging. He's having fun. And if for 15 years we were told Saban not engaging, not fun, and he wins national championships, Saban having fun now? What does this say for college football? Saban engaging, interactive now? What does this mean to the nation? Because of at the outside eye, the first 15 years that he was not engaging and he was winning. And now that he is engaging, according to Jordan Battle, look how much domination we could see here, people. Look how much domination we could see here with Saban laughing, with Saban being interactive, with Saban being engaging, with Saban being loose, with Saban, vibing, with these dudes out here. Look at much more domination we could have. I mean, you see how he finished the press conference, John and Dean, a couple days ago. He was like, "Am I supposed to now just smile and say thank you?" I mean, Saban was having fun with that. Saban is having fun with that, y'all. He really is. I mean, doesn't want to retire, is not thinking about retirement, has championship multiple more on his mind, definitely has got the team to do it this year. And now Jordan Battle in a press conference. I love his energy right now. He's laughing. I mean, he's smiling. I mean, he's interacting. I mean, he's wearing shades in fall. This is the first time, John, in 16 years, Saban is wearing shades in fall camp. He doesn't wear shades. I mean, yeah, he may have the straw hat on. Yeah, he may have a little Nike jumpsuit on. Shades? Saban wearing hater blockers? Fall camp? Where they do that? Like, we never seen that before. He's having fun, people. He's pulling out the fun. He's pulling out the engaging. He's pulling out the excitement. I mean, I think he's really taking what Peter Wood said those weeks ago to heart when Mr. Woods mentioned, Dabo Swinney, he specializes in 18 to 22-year-olds. He specializes in the teenage life. He's more lively. And now here comes Nick Saban. I'll show you lively. I'm gonna rock shades. Fall camp. I'm gonna be laughing in team meetings. I'm gonna be engaging and interacting with everybody. Got young coaches around me, so they're bringing me even more fresh fire with Joe Cox and Eric Wolford and Javaris Robinson and Coleman Hutzler around me. All more energy, young energy. Pete Golden back for a fifth year at 38 years old, more young energy. Holman Wiggins, his young self, more energy. Robert Gillespie, he young, more energy. Coach Saban showing you, he ain't done. He is not done. And just, wow. Jordan Battle, he is, I love the energy he's showing right now. I can't wait to see the Saban energy all throughout the 2022 season here in the coming fall. But as always, people, you want the best in news, notes, information, and coverage here on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can check it out by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. Now, for your audio needs, check us out. iTunes, our Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, or iHeartRadio. Got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you can do this. You can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. If you're trying to get the fresh edition, print edition of TDA, the magazine, you go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member or a subscriber today. That link in the description. If you're trying to get your hands on the four-finger bling necklace, four-finger bling jewelry, courtesy of our guys at WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. That's WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. That link in the description as well. Guys, shout out my man Justin Smith, the lead scouting and recruiting analyst for TDA, coming on here to give us the latest on the 2023 class, including one Miles McVay, four-star offensive lineman that gave the Tide his verbal commitment. Got to shout out D. Pickett with that $4.99 in the super chats, giving us love here on the show. Appreciate D. Pickett. Got to shout out you, the outstanding fans of Bama football. Appreciate your calls, your chats, your conversations, the dialogue with you, all of your donations, you making this your show, your platform, your channel, network space to talk Bama football. Gotta also shout out my two outstanding producers in the other room, John Ivory and Eli Walker, keeping me on the up and up right here. But as always, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, we made it to the weekend after that week of school, but continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored. You get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself, you protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, people, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and you've been listening to in my own words.